fashionistas, I hope you're all having a lovely day. For some reason I'm a little bit hoarse, so you have to excuse my voice. Today I'm going to be doing another foundation review. I love foundations. I got a bunch of foundations that I don't know why, but I haven't really been, well, I know why, I haven't been really filming. And one of the things is that when I film foundation reviews is it has to happen when I put on makeup in the morning. And for some reason I haven't been really doing that. So I decided to start and going, oh, this one is about ready to tip out of its case. Anyways, I decided to go back to reviewing foundations and putting out foundations and putting on makeup in the morning, actually. And today I decided to review the Super BB Cream by Physicians Formula. And the reason is it's because it's mid-May and summer here is really, really hot, so BB cream is always kind of nice. And also, I don't feel like putting on, the reason why I like BB creams for summer is not that they're lighter on the skin or something like that, but they save the, a lot of times if your skin is not too dry, you can get away with putting face lotion on, moisturizing your face before you put on your foundation. I would normally recommend still putting on moisturizing your face at night or using some kind of serum, but you can avoid putting it on moisturizing before you put on your foundation. That is if the foundation is any good. So I will be applying this on my clean face without any moisturizing. I will point out I'm not really dry, I'm really pimply right now, but that has nothing to do with it. And the other thing that I am also going to be trying, I'm also going to be using two new brushes, makeup brushes. I'm going to be using one of the new Real Techniques silver brushes, and I'm also going to be using this brush that I know I'm going to be loving already, Bdellium Tools 945. This is a contour one, and I'm going to be using, I also have on my desk here, which is a huge mess, I'm also going to be using the Bronzer Booster Beads bronzer. So I'm going to also be using this. So I'm going to be using two brushes and two new products today. I'm going to put this under the foundation, obviously, category, and I'm going to get started. So I'm going to be collecting my hair, obviously, and I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula. It says it's an all-in-one beauty balm cream, SPF 30. This is in like medium broad spectrum sunscreen. Of course, like a lot of the Physicians Formula, unfortunately they do not create them in many various colors, so that of course is a minus. It comes with a little aluminum, how do you say it in English, this little metal sealer, so that's nice, so you know you can get when nobody's opened it before you. In Israel I think almost everything is like that. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it on my, wow, it kind of looks like chocolate mousse. Has a nice kind of coloring to it. This is not that light, I'm a little bit surprised, but we'll see how it goes on. I have my mirror here. First things first, I have to smell it. It is, well, I don't know if you can see, but this is on my nose. This definitely kind of resembles the smell of a sunscreen. And this is very, very, although it's not too runny, it is very liquidy. That means I think you can get away with not even using the brush quite yet. This is great. It applies really nicely on first hand. I'm putting it on first of all on my nose, obviously, because I put some on the tip, and I'm putting it on this side of the face. Of course, my mirror has a dent in it because I ran into it, so that's always nice. I'll probably fast forward this section. Okay, so I applied it on half my face. First impressions are thus far. It does not have a high coverage. Your skin tends to soak it up like a moisturizing cream, and it's a little bit, just applied it, so it's a little bit sticky, which is interesting considering the fact that it absorbs like lotion. It does unify your face, does give a solid kind of look to it. It does cover some of the flaws in my face, and I'm okay with, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm okay with my flaws. I'm going to try using a brush to actually apply it on this side. You need quite a bit. What's interesting is because your skin absorbs it like a lotion, I find that I'm actually getting more out. which is surprising because usually I usually pour out, squeeze out too much. It does give somewhat of a nice unifying look. I wouldn't say though it's high coverage. It's light coverage. Okay, so now I'm gonna let it sit for, let's give it 10 minutes and then see if I have to come in and powder it. I am, however, going to try already the Booster Bronzer by Physicians Formula. It's this wonderful little wooden container kind of thing that has a puff and a brush in it. So you have the brush. I don't know why I can't get stuff out of here. So you have the brush if you wanted to use a very sharp edge kind of look, and you have the little puff that keeps all these wonderful beads out. The last time I've shown this, I dumped it all out in the hall. I'm gonna take my brush and swirl it around. It definitely picks up color. I will show you, it's very easy to tell. I wish I would have shown you before what the brush actually looks like. These have gold and brown specks, so I suppose you could put more or less according to your personal preference. And I'm going to put on my slightly wet foundation. It's not completely set yet. And I'm going to contour on my cheekbones. I think this also comes in a shading range. Also, I think there's a light and a medium for this. I don't remember what I took. I will try to find out. If I do remember, I will put it on the screen here. Okay, so I don't think you can tell too much. If we turn that way, maybe you can see it. And the camera shows up more, actually, which is interesting. First impressions from the brush itself. Love it. It gets a full 10. Well, maybe a 9. It gets a 9.5. I'm going to sell for that. It applies. You can pick up a lot of product. You can pick up enough product and dab it on, and then you can blend it out, which I really like about this brush. My second first impression, my third first impression for this video actually is about this. First impression is actually pretty nice. It gives a very, very slight glow. I'm using it for contouring, but I'm thinking that it might actually work better for a very, very light dust of glow on the face. If you're tanned already, I think that will work really nicely. I will point out this does have a little mirror in it. I'm thinking that I will not set my foundation, the BB cream, with a powder. Simply because it is settling in. I think it really does work. You have to think about it as a lot of BB creams, I think about them as foundations. I think this one you have to think about it as a moisturizing lotion and then as a coloring agent. It is soaking and it's just taking a little bit of time, but I do have the impression that it is going to soak in well. I think the BB cream has actually an undertone. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but the undertone of the BB cream is actually pretty nice. It works nicely with my complexion, but it gives a slight summer glow to it, and I kind of like that. It's noon right now, so it's almost 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. and I can't figure out how to close this one. Screw on, you have to put pressure on it. Anyways, and I'm going to put on my rest of my face and go about. I am going to check in at least once, obviously, at 6 p.m. Still light here, so you'll be able to see quite a bit, and then maybe around 8 o'clock, and it will give a 6-hour and an 8-hour mark, which is usually the mark that I tend to go for. I don't tend to wear foundation for more than that, and if I do, and I really needed to do, like, let's say for some reason I filmed in the morning and then I would film at night, I would consider taking off most of my makeup and reapplying it for something like that, because something like a TV performance would require you to actually redo your makeup as far as
so I'm back. It's 7:15, which means it's been 7 hours since I've put on my foundation, since I put on the BB cream. I have to say it's been holding up pretty well. It hasn't been a sweaty day or anything like that, so nothing out of the ordinary. But I'm pretty pleased with the result. It does not look like it's faded. It's, to begin with, pretty fairly light to medium coverage, so it's not like it's that strong. But if you don't have very deep pigmentation, this will definitely work for you. And you can always, if you're like me and you have just slight coloration or like zits or stuff like that, then you can always use a concealer stick to use that on those kind of stuff. I also found that with this foundation, I didn't feel it necessary to use under eye concealer, which I have been using lately, although as you might know already, I'm not a big concealer junkie, I'm a foundation junkie. Definitely the other thing that I really find impressive about this particular BB cream is that it kind of gives my skin a glow, which is a very funny thing to say about a BB cream, but I usually find that foundation kind of mattifies my face, makes it very flat. This makes my face kind of, well, glow, which I kind of like the look of for summer. I definitely saw the difference, so I'm really pleased about that. I think this is definitely something I will be using on days that I don't feel like using something very, I don't feel like I have foundation on. It definitely does not come off. It's definitely set well. When it comes down to the bronzer, I can still definitely see some of the booster bronzer here. I'm just, the color, the lighting is not showing up so well, but I think it faded just a little bit, which is, I guess, to expect. I did apply it when my BB cream was still a little bit wet, so maybe applying it on a dry face. Actually, I think when it applies on a wet face, it would actually set better, if that makes any sense. But I'm definitely pleased about the end result. So yeah, I think 7 hours is a pretty good time spot to stop this review. In terms of the end grade, I think I would grade this as an 8 or an 8.5. It does have fairly good durability. I would say an 8.5 because I really like the glow. The coverage is just not very strong, and yeah, so that's the only reason why I would not give it any higher than that. But it definitely stood through the time test, as you would say. So yeah, as always, that was the review for today, the first impression video. That was the Physicians Formula BB cream and the bronzer booster beads, I guess that's what you would call it. Check down below to see all my links for my social media, my Pinterest, Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook page, and my blog page. As always, have a lovely day and see you later. Bye!